Welcome back to the Snipe and Score podcast. I'm Aidan Calkins with my co-host Sean Wallace. Lots to talk about, more studs and duds, a stadium series announced for next year, and a new mascot, which we have yet to touch on, but we will today. Sean, what do we got today?
Yeah, like you said, we're talking about studs, duds, a couple storylines. Alex Ovechkin becomes the first player in NHL history to record 900 goals. Jordan Kyrou is a healthy scratch for the St. Louis Blues. And here's a little fun fact for you. Macklin Celebrini was 7 years old when GTA 5 released. He's now tied for first in NHL scoring this season and will be 20 years old when GTA 6 releases. It was just announced today that GTA 6 is delayed until November 19th, 2026. This is the second time it's been delayed now, and I don't mean to be a pessimist, but I feel like it's going to get delayed again.
It is. He will not be 20 years old when the game gets released.
I love what you said earlier to me today about this whole GTA 6 being delayed thing is like a public experiment at this point. Because it's so true.
It's like a public experiment to see how much people are going to wait for a game that's not going to come out. They make so much money off GTA 5. But we're not a video game podcast. We're a hockey podcast. Gosh darn it. We're going to talk about it right now. Sean, who's your first stud of the day?
My first stud of the day is actually a team. It's going to be the Anaheim Ducks. They're on an absolute roll. They are first in the Pacific. They've got young studs and even old guys that are performing. Leo Carlson, stud. Connor Gauthier, stud. Troy Terry, stud. Mason McTavish, stud.
Chris Kreider.
Chris Kreider has more. I love what you said earlier today. Chris Kreider has more goals than the New York Rangers do at home. How about that? So, the Anaheim Ducks are on an absolute roll. If they continue this, they're making the playoffs. And credit to you, because a couple weeks ago when we were making our predictions, you said they're a team to watch out for. And I don't think many people believed you, but they should have taken your word for it because they're a good, solid, young team. They're on a roll.
Yeah, they are. They added the right core veterans. We all kind of thought, they're adding older guys, but they had a super young core.
Yep.
How do you fix a super young core? Add veterans that have been there and done that, and they did that with Kreider. A lot of people didn't know the Trouba move. I did. As dirty as a player he is and as bad as his contract is, he's still a veteran guy they need for a very, and I mean very young, but very, very talented defense core.
By the way, plus 11 this season.
Chris Kreider?
Yeah.
He's been.
Sorry, no, I was talking about Trouba.
Trouba, yeah, he's been good. Like I said, they're just a good team overall, and Dostal's been great, and I think their backup is who is their backup right now? I'm gonna look it up, but yeah, I think they've just overall the core, the rebuild under Joel Quenneville, which I think is a bigger ad than people think, which is another reason why I said, listen, hey, might be pretty good, is just pretty much. They're playing well under him so far, and yeah, they're playing some great hockey. 8-3-1, 17 points. They're playing some good hockey right now.
Yeah, really good call on your part. I believed what you said. I believed what you said in the offseason about them being better than what people thought. I knew they were young. I knew they were talented, and I thought they could sneak into the wild card. But for them to be almost a quarter way through the season, first place over the Knights, overall, the Knights have been dominant in that division for so long now since they basically got into the league. So they're taking the division by storm now, and who knows? Maybe halfway through the season, they could be the biggest threat to the Knights.
I didn't want to say because I thought I was going to be wrong. It is Peter Mrazek who is the backup out in.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Wow.
He has got a 2-0 record. He's got a 2-0 record with an .831 save percentage.
Guess they're right to trade John Gibson.
Well, Dostal's been great. He's 6-3-1 with a .912, the 259 goals against. So he's been fantastic for them.
All right, nice job by the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Anaheim!
Who's your first stud, Mr. Calkins?
Well, he's a Leaf, and he's back after sustaining an injury against the Sabres a couple weeks. So it's Willie Stiles, Willie Nylander. Since his return on the 3rd, or I should say since our last episode, which would be the 3rd, he's got 5 points, 3 of those being goals. And this week has helped tie him for 3rd in the NHL with 20 points. And Toronto needs them because they are floundering. They're in a spot where they're kind of 50-50. They're now back in 3rd place in the Atlantic, but that does not mean much with how close the Eastern Conference is right now. For crying out loud, Buffalo right now is a point out of a playoff spot right now behind the Capitals. It doesn't mean anything, but they needed to get him back. They get him back. He's probably their second best forward. I could argue a better forward than Austin Matthews right now. And yeah, he's just been phenomenal. He's really come on the last couple of years of this breakout top 10 possible player. I think he's top 20, but he's 100% a top 10 winger in the NHL. And he's been fantastic. Toronto severely missed him, and they get him back now. And he's been a really big contributor to them fighting their way back after that kind of opening stretch where it was kind of rough for them. They've won 3 straight ever since he's been back.
Yep. I like how you touched on the fact that the Eastern Conference is so close right now, but I think most importantly, it looks way different than what we expected coming into the season. The Canadiens in first, they're actually first place in the East, 19 points. The Red Wings are on a tear. I know they just lost, but they have 18 points. They're second in the Atlantic, and the Maple Leafs are right behind them. The Maple Leafs got off to a slower start than I think what people thought, even without Mitch Marner.
Right.
But we touched on it last week. If this team wants to compete, they have to fill that gap that Mitch Marner kind of left behind. And I think William Nylander I think he could fill the gap. I mean, I'm not saying that, okay, let me put it this way. They almost need to fill 2 gaps, right? Because Mitch Marner now in Vegas, the Maple Leafs, if they ever want to perform in the postseason, I do believe all these guys are going to have to step up. Matthews, Nylander, etc. All these, they had this core 4, but Nylander really needs to step up, and that's what he's doing right now. So
this is where
the Maple Leafs.
This is one of the few times I'll disagree with you. He was always the guy in the playoffs that stepped up. It was always Tavares, Matthews, and Marner. Specifically, the one that left. Mitch Marner never showed up in the playoffs. If it was a big goal coming from somebody in the playoffs, guess who it was from? Willie Nylander.
Yeah, it was William Nylander.
Nylander has never had an issue stepping up getting in the playoffs. He's always elevated his game to the level they need it. Now, as we talk about Marner, he's got 14 points in 12 games playing alongside Jack Eichel. He's got 3 goals, 11 assists, +8 for Vegas. And obviously Vegas is Vegas. We don't need to talk about them today. But, like I said, I think Nylander, as you kind of mentioned, he needs to step up. But, I don't know much more he can do, man.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I phrased it really poorly. So all I was saying, what I was trying to say, I really phrased it poorly. At the beginning of the season, and like I said, we touched on it last week, you could tell the way the Maple Leafs started off, they really were missing something when they lost Mitch Marner. Not saying that William Nylander didn't step up. I think he's just playing better. He's always been great, but now he's playing at a next level great. That's kind of what you alluded to when you named him your stud. And I think you're right. Now, all they need to do without Mitch Marner is put it all together in the postseason.
Yes.
William Nylander can't do it all. But like you said, Mitch Marner didn't really do anything in the playoffs either.
No.
But in order for this team to finally succeed, it's not necessarily what they do in the regular season. Even without Mitch Marner, they need to find a way to just put it all together in the postseason. Mm-hmm. Matthews, Nylander, you name it, all these guys.
Yes.
So
I agree.
Great in the regular season. I'm glad William Nylander took that next step forward, even though, like you said, not really sure how much what more he can do. He's already doing great. But this team just needs to put it together in the postseason, period.
Yep.
My next stud, I actually alluded to this next week, and they're still on a tear. It's the Pittsburgh Penguins. For as much crap as we gave the Penguins coming into the season.
Shout out Ryan Barry. We know you're going to watch.
They've really outperformed expectations. Before the season even started, Evgeny Malkin's in the last year of his deal, and they basically told him to go kick rocks, even before this season. The writing was already on the wall, and he leads the team in points. This old guy, right, that no one had any expectations for, this old guy who's been underperforming for the last 2-3 years, is doing better than Sidney Crosby right now in terms of points. Crosby's second. Brazeau, I think when this rebuild is all said and done, could actually have an important role in the bottom 6. He's still 27.
Unfortunately, currently out for a month.
Right. And in 12 games, he had 12 points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the guy was on a tear. I know he's out now, but when he comes back, he's definitely an important piece. Anthony Mantha, we talked about this last week. This guy's on a 1-year deal right now. It's a prove-it deal, and man, he's proving it. I guarantee you he's going to be a hot commodity in free agency. I know he's a little older, but he's on a tear right now for the Penguins. Brian Russ is doing well. Even Erik Karlsson's putting in the work. He has 10 assists. The Penguins are shocking me right now, and I guarantee you, why can't I think of his name? Their president used to make
Kyle Dubas.
Yeah, I can't think of Kyle Dubas' name. Oh my god.
The GM.
Anyway, Kyle Dubas is probably sitting there like this. Like, I know you can't see my face right now, but
I will later.
He's nervous because Elliot Freeman reported before the season even started, the only team that's trying to lose right now is the Penguins, because Dubas knows that they need Gavin McKenna, because
clearly not.
Before you know it, Crosby's going to leave. Malkin's going to leave. So I think Dubas came in with the expectation this season that this team is so bad, we're going to be the worst team in the league and have the best chance at getting Gavin McKenna. But guess what? That's not the case. And you know what? I'm kind of happy about it because I'm a Caps fan and I don't want them to get Gavin McKenna.
Well,
so keep doing what you're doing, Pittsburgh. I don't want to see him get a good prospect. You guys can stay with Rutger McGroarty and all those guys.
I'm gonna hurt my co-host's feelings here because obviously I'm tracking scores right now because the Sabres are playing and I can't watch.
Yeah, they're playing the Penguins right now, and I'm sure they're.
Pittsburgh is up 3-0 right now.
Oh my God!
Crosby has a pair, and as alluded to, Anthony Mantha has his 7th of the year. Pittsburgh up 3-0 here. Barry, that's for you. Second period's about just over halfway left in the second period, but yeah, Pittsburgh flying again, just like it's the mid 2010s all over again. I just ruined Wallace.
Yeah, well, we all know how that ended. You know, they won their 2 cups, but we got the last laugh.
I just ruined Wallace's podcast for the rest of the time.
Look, man, I don't care how those 2010s went. We got the last laugh, and then after we won the cup, it was all south from there for both teams. So I don't want to hear about it, Ryan Berry. Anyway,
he's gonna give us so much crap. We love you, Ryan. We appreciate you watching.
Anyway, any duds? Any more studs for you?
I have a dud.
Go ahead, start with your dud.
Actually, you should start with your dud because my dud's the segue.
Okay, then I'll start right now. My dud is the Florida Panthers. Okay, listen. I know everyone's injured. I know they have a lot of guys that are out. But they also have a lot of guys that are getting paid a lot that just simply aren't performing whatsoever.
The cats aren't roaring, they're meowing.
Right. So Brad Marchand, he's leading the team in points, 13. That's great. That's good for him. But I'm looking at guys like Sam Bennett, Aaron Ekblad. What about the guy that just got paid handsomely in the offseason, Nico Mikkola? Guess how many points Nico Mikkola has in 13 games? A big fat donut. He's not performing. None of these guys are actually getting paid very well. Seth Jones, he doesn't have a goal, but he does have 6 assists. It's been 13 games. You know, I know they have a lot of guys that are hurt, but some of these guys just need to step up. It's as simple as that. So that's why the Panthers are my duds. Like I said, I know they have the talent to do it. They just shouldn't be last, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know we don't put a lot into plus minus as a stat, but there's a lot of minuses when it comes to big guys like Sam Bennett, -8.
Sam
Reinhart, also, he's -6.
Yep.
Verhaeghe, -4. Seth Jones, -4. Marchand, Lundell, -4, -3, respectfully. They have one guy at point a game so far, and that's Marchand. Like, Reinhart has 6 goals. Verhaeghe only has 2. He only has 2 goals.
Yep, forgot to mention Verhaeghe. Yep.
Marchand, I'm going to pop it up right now. Flip it the other way. Can I, please? Yeah, thank you. So it's Marchand at 6 or 7, then Reinhart at 6. Take a guess who's the next highest goal scorer, tied for 3rd. AJ Greer. And then it's Rodriguez and Lundell at 3, and then Verhaeghe, Bennett, Losterinen, and Samasevich all at 2. It's not good enough for Florida. And I'm sure under Paul Maurice, they'll figure it out once they get some guys back. But, man, losing Kachuk and Barkov has really shown. And, you know, obviously losing Kulikov, too, who's one of their more underrated minute munchers, also looks like it's a big impact as well on that back end. With them having to throw out guys like Jeff Petrie and Balinskis. I'm not saying Balinskis is a bad defenseman, but he's not a guy I'd want on my top 6 every week.
Yeah, no, neither.
But, yeah.
One other guy I'm going to mention, since we're still talking about the Panthers, Bob. What the heck happened to Bob?
Yeah,
he's played 10 games this season. He's averaging 2.82 goals allowed. He has an 88% save percentage.
Old Bob is back, and that's not good.
Yeah. Not that Carter Verhaeghe and not Verhaeghe. What the heck am I saying? Not that Kachuk and Barkov have a say in how Bobrovsky do, but even with those guys injured, I'd expect Bobrovsky to be a little bit better. Now that being said, I know he doesn't I know the defenseman might need to step up a little bit.
I was going to say team defense overall has not been great.
Yeah, team defense needs to be better, but at the same time,
always use a save.
They pay Bob handsomely. I would expect Bob to step up more than he is right now. That's all I'm going to say.
My dud, and he's been a conversation throughout the offseason, and it's going to continue to be a conversation, and then the trade deadline. Jordan Kyrou, St. Louis, struggle bus. Not right now. They're up 2-0 on Buffalo going into the third period. But he's got 4 goals, 8 points in 14 games. He's a -8. Again, don't mean much, but he's been out there for 8 more goals than he's been on the ice for St. Louis. Scratch tonight against Buffalo. Obviously has not mattered because the Blues have played a good game against the Sabres so far. And the Sabres are a very hurt team, but they're not playing very well right now. If you've watched the recent mishaps in overtime and how many games they've had go to overtime, not so much, but the Blues in general just not good. And Coach Jim Montgomery was like, hey, I could have scratched a lot of guys. He elected Kyrou and Oscar Sundqvist today. trying to spark his team a little bit, and right now it's working. But Kyrou was a major talking point during the offseason. Oh, is he going to get traded to Buffalo? Oh, is he going to Montreal? Like, is he going to get traded for somebody like Bo Byram or another big name? I don't know who Montreal would have sent back to, but probably some defenseman the other way. Like, where's he going? And he doesn't get moved.
Right.
I think there's still, and there was issues with him last year with whoever the heck, who was that coach last year got fired? They had issues with.
Why can't I think of his name? Jim Montgomery?
No, Berube.
Not Jim Montgomery.
Nope, I lied.
No.
It was 2 years ago before Berube got fired. He had issues with Berube a couple of years ago. Like, and now it's coming back again where he's getting scratched again because he's not performing. So Jordan Kyrou, a big topic of discussion here, and I'll let Sean discuss more about him being scratched and kind of his thoughts on that.
So, yeah, no one on the Blues is really performing right now, but it seems like we touched on last week, this is the case every year. It was the case when they won the Cup in 2019. It seems like Jordan Kyrou is the subject of rumors every single year for the last, 2 years because they always get off to these crappy starts, but for whatever reason, midway through the season, they kick it up. These rumors stop. They stick with the same crew that they have, and they try to make a playoff push, even though it really never ends up working out since 2019. But no one's performing right now. We touched on it last week. Bennington stinks.
He's awful.
He gave up 6, unless they pulled him. I didn't watch much of the game, but
he got pulled last night after, I think, 4.
So he did get pulled. He
First
stunk
period.
last night. By the way, real classy move trying to hide Ovechkin's puck, buddy.
We're going to get to oven chicken. I mean Ovechkin here in a second.
Yeah, so the Blues really underperforming. Not much more I can say except the fact that, I have no idea if Kyrou's going to get traded because they always stink to begin the season, but they always, find a pep in their step midway through the season, and they get on fire, and then all these rumors just cease to exist.
You know what I think was one of the dumbest things they did in the offseason?
What?
Trading Zach Bolduc. Hear me out. Maverick Lamoureux, I'm pretty sure that's who they acquired for Zach Bolduc. You traded a guy that's very young, good bottom 6 center, great third-line center, got some size, can hit, can play the PK, good two-way guy. You trade him for a guy you're not 100% sure on. And double-check who they traded for. It might have been Maverick Lamoureux. I could be wrong.
I don't know, actually.
Double-check me. Look it up while I'm yapping. Please. And he goes to Montreal as they just scored a tie it up against New Jersey, a very quick goal in the third period. And he's been really good for them, solidifying that bottom 6, the top 9, the third line. Been really good for Montreal, helping round out that forward group, and he's still, again, super young. And it seems like St. Louis could use another guy in the forward group to get some juice, and they don't have it right now. Now, could it be cap compliance issues? Could have been. But that's when you try to get rid of a guy like Kyrou and get younger guys or more pieces back to fill out more holes. That's kind of when Kyrou's been in the description because they're like, St. Louis had to have some holes. They could trade a guy like Kyrou who might not necessarily be happy here and he's not played great and he's had issues with the staff. Let's trade him somewhere else and we get some assets back that might be able to help us now. Well, that's where I think a lot of Kyrou stuff comes from. But I think them trading Zach Bolduc was a major mistake in the offseason, and right now it's showing.
All right, you're going to have to help me with the pronunciations. Logan
Malou.
Okay, Logan Malou. Thank you.
Malou.
You all can laugh at me,
Maverick,
me in the comments.
Maverick he's a part of Utah, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, Logan Malou. I think he was a former first-round pick, has not panned out for Montreal, and so far he's not. And he's not on the Blues roster as far as I know. He might be hurt. He might be in Springfield, the Thunderbirds, or whatever their AHL affiliate is. I don't remember. But I think it's Springfield Thunderbirds. I think that's their AHL affiliate. But, yeah, he's not. I was not a fan of that one, to be honest. To help Sean out. Washington's on the board. It's Dylan Strome, 3-1.
My goat.
Ovechkin
Thank you, Stromer.
Ovechkin with the assist.
So, speaking of Ovechkin, that's our next talking point. He becomes the first NHL player in NHL history to record 900 goals. 900.
900.
Insane number. I don't know if anybody's going to get there one day.
No.
No?
Never.
No? Not even Austin Matthews?
No. Here's the thing with him. He's been very inconsistent with his starts. If he starts out hot, he's going to score 60. If he starts out slower and or gets injured, 40.
Dude, I'm telling you, one more 60-goal season, I think he has a real shot. 2 more, and I think he probably does.
I think he needs at least 2 more 60-goal seasons, and I'll be like, okay, there might be a chance.
So, regardless, talking about Ovechkin. Now, Ovechkin, yes, 900. That's great. But I actually do want to talk about the Capitals for a second. They won 6-1 last night against the Blues. I think they're losing 3-1 against the Penguins right now. Pierre-Luc Dubois is out for an extended period of time.
Mm-hmm.
The whole team has been very, very consistent. Before they beat St. Louis, they were on a 4-game losing streak. They lost to the Sabres.
In a shootout.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of this team because I'm looking at a lot of their young guys, and I'm actually a little surprised Ovechkin is still on the top line. He's almost been, I know he's approaching 40, and I know, he's been legendary, but he's almost been a liability on the team if I'm being completely honest. I want to see guys get more opportunities on the top six, like Ryan Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? Am I crazy for saying that?
No, because I think you hate when your heroes get old, right?
Right.
He's got 8 points, 3 goals, 5 assists in 13 games. He's a +2.
Yep.
But he just seems really slow to me.
Yep.
He just seems slow. Like, he kills a lot of plays for the Capitals, I feel like.
That power play's been atrocious.
Well, that's not even his
my
fault.
gosh.
I wouldn't say the power play's his fault. Like,
It's not his fault, but, you look to guys like Ovechkin on the power play, and I think it's
but the problem with that is
as a
teams have smartened up nowadays and just put a guy on him, and because he's so slow, he doesn't move like he used to. He just stands there.
Fair point. I heard that instead of the electrocution chair, prisons will now use the Capitals power play to execute their.
All right, that's getting edited out.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Prisoners will now be subjected to watch the Capitals power play instead of the execution chair.
But yeah, no, I just feel like that's where you got to find other ways to open up your power play unit. It's like the Sabres and Tage Thompson. Like you can't just, you got to open other stuff up, and I think they will. They got a multitude of guys that can do it. You just got to get the puck to them, But yeah, I think Ovi's a great player, but I think he's in the category of he's still a superstar, but he's old and he skates slow. He's there to produce offense, and that's about it because he's not fast enough to get back on the defense unless he's starting the freaking blue line. So
right, and look, I know Pierre-Luc Dubois is hurt for an extended period of time. Slide McMichael into that second line center position for now. That's great. You know who's not slow? You know who has an excellent shot, and you know who's very young? Ryan Leonard.
Mm-hmm. And he
Slide
can play
him
the center.
I want to see him in the top six.
He can play center role too.
Maybe. I'm not sure yet. I mean, he did in college.
He's a natural centerman.
A little bit.
He's a natural centerman.
Yeah, we'll see. I think there are a lot of centers in the team already, even with PLD hurt.
Strome, Protus. Just off of what I'm looking, it says Strome, Protus, and then your next listed center, McMichael, Dowd, and then LaPierre is listed as a center as well, and then Ethan Frank, who's been up for a cup of coffee as well.
I just like, since he has more experience in the position in the league, I like McMichael filling that role for Dubois right now more so than Ryan Leonard.
Keep him on the right wing.
Yeah.
That's where he's playing right now.
Yep.
Okay.
LaPierre, I guess I don't know if they were to switch Leonard to, maybe they slide him in a third line center, move LaPierre back down to Hershey because LaPierre's been terrible.
That might be a decent move, honestly, because let's see.
Maybe put Frank in the bottom six.
LaPierre's got two assists in 12 games. He's actually got a better plus minus than Brendan Duham. I don't know how much that means to you. He's got more points and a better plus minus than Brendan Duham in about the same amount of games.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how the Caps handle PLD's injury. I think they just stick with where they're at right now.
Yeah.
But it's just a thought. I know we're talking about Ovechkin, his milestone, excellent for him. But in terms of how the Capitals are playing this season, 4-game losing streak, Ovechkin's been slow. Maybe you look to put a younger face in the top six, and maybe say, hey Ovechkin, the big chin anime guy, the hand on the shoulder. Maybe it's time to go in the bottom six.
I wouldn't take Ovi out of the top six because it's the scoring prowess, but I'd definitely shuffle some deck chairs up top. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Because he's still going to draw attention.
How will Carbs respond? How will he respond?
I'm sure that there'll be an answer eventually.
All right, so we touched on Ovechkin. We touched on Kyrou. A couple other storylines. What do you think of the Dallas Stars playing at AT&T Stadium where the Dallas Cowboys play?
I love it
in 2027.
I love it for hockey. There'll be a competent game played at AT&T Stadium. As the Commanders fan over their laps. Yeah, I'm excited because it's a really big stage, and the NHL has been pushing a lot of hockey down south, and it's for good cause because a lot of the popularity is up north and partially out in California and Nevada with Vegas and now Utah, and then obviously the California teams usually draw really well. But down south has been a little bit of an issue. Atlanta leaves; they've lost some teams down there. Obviously the interest in Houston's been for a long time. I feel like this. It's going to sound really dumb, but this is going to be a very bold prediction, and I could be 100% wrong. This is going to be their showcase to see if Texas is going to get a second team. Because if a lot of people show up to that game and they're loud, I will put money on it now.
Ain't going to happen.
Houston will be one of the first 2 new expansion teams that come in.
Okay, Houston, yes. Well, I thought you meant 2 teams in Dallas.
No, it'll be a showcase for Texas.
Okay,
because
I thought you meant 2 teams in Dallas.
No.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
Because
yes, Houston,
Dallas is
100%.
the AT&T Stadium in that area is the mecca of Texas when it comes to sports.
Yep. I thought you meant
No.
yeah, because I was going to say we're getting 2 teams in Toronto before we get 2 teams in Dallas.
No,
Okay,
they're going to
yeah,
have
no,
2
I know.
teams or 2 teams in Texas, and this will be I think this will be the test to see if and when we get a Houston team, because that's been rumored forever.
Yep, that's a great
since
point. That
since
is a very
Seattle
good point.
came in, it's been rumored
Yep.
that Houston was going to get a team.
Yep, that's a very good
And
point.
I think this will be the
agree.
big test, especially it was announced on Monday Night Football by the commissioner on national television. Unless you're watching on YouTube TV, then you didn't see it.
That's me. That's me.
Oh, another scoring update. Ryan Leonard, 3-2 Penguins.
Leno! Sorry.
Barry,
I'm really sorry to
Barry,
everyone
you might have
that
to
had
knock this
listened to
guy
that
out.
on their earbuds. Sorry to everyone that listened to that on their earbuds.
We need to do
Sorry.
this more often. We're doing podcasts, just Aidan scrolling through stores. Yeah, but I'm really excited. I think it's a great opportunity for the NHL and the greater Texas area to possibly fight for a second hockey team down in Texas.
And I will say this: that Stars Arena during the playoffs,
It's
I think
electric.
That whole atmosphere is
Electric.
so cool, so cool. I think it's a great move by the league. I'm very excited to see what AT&T Stadium will look like come time for the Stadium Series in 27. That Stars whole atmosphere is so cool. Dallas area. I forget. I think Barstool, one of the guys on Barstool ranked Dallas as like the worst city to go to, and I didn't understand. I've never been to Dallas, but from what I've seen, I think the atmosphere looks very cool. Maybe I'm totally off the mark, but I guess it's a cool environment. I don't know.
Well, as they say, everything's bigger than Texas. You know what else is big right now? A certain mascot from Utah they got announced, and Sean has been dying, and I mean dying, to talk about this topic
This
the last
is exactly
few
what
weeks.
I've been waiting for. This mascot
Talk
is so
about him.
cool. Can you imagine sitting there in Delta Center, Delta Arena, whatever it's called?
Delta Center.
Ready, waiting for your new mascot. It's just a big block of ice in the middle, right there in the center. And then bang, bang, out
Tusky.
comes this giant blue elephant skating around.
It's not
waving
an
hello to
elephant. What are you
everyone.
talking
Dude,
about?
I know he's not an elephant. He just looks like an elephant, bro.
It's a mammoth.
Dude, I know. Thank you. But anyway, so they unveiled Tusky. Here's Tusky, and dude, this thing is so cool. And by the way, I'll also mention this at the time we're recording this right now. I hope it gets uploaded before Utah has their next home game. But since the mascot was unveiled, Utah hasn't lost a single home game. Just throwing that out there. The mascot's cool. I love the name. It's a good-looking mascot. It is, yeah. I love it. Tusky, the newest NHL mascot. Great job, Utah. Great job. I think his name is Ryan Smith, the owner.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should know
Outstanding.
he's
A+.
also partial owner of the Commanders.
Ryan Smith is not a partial owner of the
I thought he
Commanders.
was.
I don't think he is.
He might be an investor, I think. I could be completely wrong.
I do not think so. I'll look that up afterwards. I don't think Ryan Smith has anything to do with the Commanders.
Anywho.
Just the Jazz.
Okay. We can look it up after. You're in luck because they don't play today. I think they play tomorrow.
Here comes Tusky.
So Sean has a deadline to get this video up.
Yeah, I do. Apologies for the late uploads.
Yeah, blame him. I'm kidding. He does an awesome job. He does a lot of work. He's a very busy man. We appreciate
No, I
what
need
he
to wake
does.
up. You're too kind, but I should upload sooner. All right. Enough about the uploading schedule. I think it's time to get to the player of the day.
Ah, crikey.
Do you have a player of the day?
I do for you, and you're going first
All
today.
right. Well, I also have my player of the day.
I'm going to finish up today. I'm
Okay.
going to swap it.
I asked you beforehand, if you know your history behind Sabres first round picks.
Oh, God. Of course.
1989, 14th overall pick by the
14th?
Buffalo Sabres. He is a forward. Yes, he's a forward.
Okay.
Please tell me
It's
he's forward.
not Turgeon.
Okay. It just says shoots left, but it doesn't actually say. Okay.
So I use hockey reference.
Pretty okay. Okay, so he played for the Sabres for 2.5 seasons.
Okay.
And just to make sure, I'm going to make sure that he is a defenseman. Yes, he's a defenseman. He's a defenseman. He shoots left. I'm glad I looked that up. 'cause I
Okay.
almost called him
2.5
forward.
years for Buffalo.
All right. He played for the Canadians from 1991 to 1994.
Okay.
Then he went to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Played there from 94 to 97.
Okay.
And then he played half a season with the Hartford Whalers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. And then he went to play for the Ducks for a season. Actually, no, 2 seasons. And then he finished his career with the New York Islanders from 2000 to 2002. His best season was in Montreal from 1992 to 1993. with 11 goals and 14 assists.
Is this Zhitnik?
No, this is not. This
Is
is
it
not who I
Schmelik?
just said. Nope. Nope. This is not him.
Not Schmelik, not Zhitnik.
Nope. Okay. Look, I want to make it super hard on you. I really want to test your Sabres knowledge. I'll give you the first name. I'll give you the last name.
No, give me the
First name. It's Kevin.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
Brown?
No.
Who's a forward? Kevin.
This is a defenseman.
Kevin.
Can I give you the first letter of his last name?
Yeah.
H.
Kevin.
I wonder if you've heard of this person.
It's a first-round pick?
First round pick. 1989. Defenseman.
When was his
left.
first year in Buffalo? That year?
89. Yep, that year.
So he was a touted first-round pick.
Zach Benson type stuff.
Yeah, 18. Kevin H. Next letter?
A. Kevin Ha. Kevin Haw.
No idea.
Kevin Haller.
Who the frick is that guy?
Okay.
Who the hell is
All
that?
right, bad pick on my part. I'm sorry. I want to test your Sabres knowledge. It was a first round pick. I know it was a long time ago, but man, you get everything. So I had to make it a little challenging.
I
this
don't
time.
think my stepfather could get that one. And he's been a Sabres fan for God knows how long.
I wonder if anybody got that one.
Nah,
Comment
not
down below if you
me.
Got that one.
No.
Declan, did you get that one? I know you're watching this, Declan. Comment down below if you got that, Declan.
Nah, I love you, Declan, but you damn sure didn't get that one. God. I love getting my intro every day in ethics, but I love you, but not that much. Holy Lord, kid.
All right, your turn.
Okay. For third-round draft pick by Nashville in 2005, he is a defenseman. Played for the Vancouver Giants.
Who the
Made his NHL debut in 2009 with Nashville. He played 2 years there. Then he went to Toronto in 2011. And he played there until 2014, to where he was traded back to Nashville. He signed in Buffalo in 2015, played there until 2017, signed his last contract in 2017-18 with the Blackhawks. He played in 550 games, scored 443 goals for 212 points. He is a defenseman. Who is he?
Okay.
The one
Started out with the Predators.
Yes. Said 2 years there, and then went to Toronto for 4.5. Or 3.5, excuse me. 3.5.
All right.
Then
Back to the Predators.
Back to the Predators for that half season. Buffalo for 2, and then Chicago was his last one in 2017-18.
Buffalo for 2.
He was not very liked by Sabre fans.
What year?
He went to Buffalo?
Yeah.
15-16.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Michael's
he
first
retired
year.
with the Blackhawks what year?
I wouldn't say he retired, but his last NHL season was in 2017-18. He played 23 games, had 1 goal, 6 assists, 7 points, and it was a -1.
Can I look this up? I really want to look this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. What year with the Blackhawks again?
16-17 or 17-18.
Okay. Blackhawks roster.
And the Blues have scored another goal.
I'm sorry, Aidan. I'm sorry.
So Roseanne hits a crossbar, and a minute later.
Okay, the player you're
Sniper
referring to, you
scores.
said he's a defenseman?
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Out shooting him 8-1, and then the one
Okay.
goal.
Okay. Duncan Keith didn't. No, it's definitely not.
Nope,
Duncan
not
Keith.
Duncan
Definitely
Keith.
not Duncan
He was never a Sabre.
Yeah, definitely not Duncan Keith.
Oh, wait, never mind. Nope, I guess not.
Okay, the only person that comes to mind. No, there's no way he was 21 at this time.
Nope, he was not. He was 30. There's your hint.
Okay, so he was 30.
Yeah,
Okay, the only 30-year-old defenseman that I could see on here, his name is Cody Franson.
that's the guy.
I've never heard of him in my life.
Cody Franzen.
All right, never mind.
Leaf
I didn't
fans
know who
didn't.
that was. Never
Leaf
heard of
fans
him.
didn't like him. Sabre fans didn't really care for him. He was not very great.
Yeah, I feel unintelligent. I've
So,
never heard of him in my
I
life.
lie. I guess the NHL.com was lying to me. So whatever, still a 2-goal game. Buffalo was making a charge in the third period. I don't know how much it's gonna matter, but
Caps update.
they keep hitting goalposts in the Sabres
Are you
game.
serious? Dude, you know who's hit more goalposts I think I've ever seen in my life? Alexei Protas.
Yeah.
Mini Tage Thompson has hit more goalposts in one season in just 14 games than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Let me refresh NHL.com. We'll give these guys a score update before we go.
I think by the time they're seeing this, they already know what the score is, and I might be really upset by the time this ends. It's still okay.
Bruins up 2-1 on Ottawa, third period. Blues up 2-0 against Buffalo, third period. Montreal up on Jersey 3-2, third period.
Almost the end of the second.
Carolina up 4-3 on Minnesota going into the third period. Penguins still up 3-2 on Washington. About 2 minutes left in the second. 1-1 tie between Philadelphia and the Predators in the second. Stars and Ducks. Ducks just made a really hard charge to tie this game at 2 in the second period. Kreider with a power play goal. Ian Moore has the other one, and then we've got 2 10 o'clock games tonight. Tampa Bay versus Vegas in Vegas, and then Florida, as we mentioned, in LA against the Kings, both on 10 o'clock games. So, yeah, there's your little update. It's not going to matter because stuff is going to come out after games are finished, but there's your update for you guys. But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning into this week. We didn't have not a lot happened when we were off, unfortunately, but so it be. We're early in the NHL season. Happy Movember to everybody that celebrates. I've got my wonderful mustache to celebrate the wonderful event that is Movember. Sean should do it too, but he won't. It's okay.
Nope. Never gonna happen.
Unfortunately, but thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to everything Afterthought Sports. All the guys do a wonderful job. I know James and Ryan are working with their footballs and forecasts. They just talked about Can Coleman.
Field goals.
Or field goals. Yes. Excuse me. Field goals and forecasts. They talked about Keon Coleman. Go check it out if you have Instagram or anything like that. They did a really good segment on that. But the hockey guys say thank you. You guys have a good night. We'll see you next time.